Wristwatches have always been closely tied to certain worlds: military, aviation, diving, and of course, cars. Specifically, watches and racing have been inseparable for decades. From the moment men learned to harness speed, we've been obsessed with pushing limits, going faster, setting records, and timing every split second along the way. Watches have always played a crucial role in motorsports. Before digital technology took over, mechanical timepieces were the backbone of race timing, ensuring drivers, pit crews, and officials could track every fraction of a second. Today we're taking a look at the all-new Zelos GT, a watch that embraces that racing DNA inspired by the Lamborghini Miura and pays tribute to the golden age of motorsports. Zelos is a Singapore-based micro-brand known for its unique and bold designs. It was founded in 2014 by Elshan Tang, and saying that Zelos has gained a strong following among watch enthusiasts would be an understatement. Reviewing a Zelos almost feels like a rite of passage for watch reviewers, and as someone who covers many micro-brand watches, I'm excited to finally feature one on the channel and see if it lives up to the hype. The GT collection offers a few different variants for you to choose from, all inspired by different iconic racing car color schemes. Launch prices are $399 for the stainless steel options and $449 for these two forged carbon on leather strap options. The model we are taking a look at today is the BRG, paying tribute to the British racing green that has been tied to racing culture since 1903. It seems that a good chunk of that money goes to presentation. Inside this simple brown cardboard box, you'll find one of the coolest warranty cards I've ever seen. A thick laser-cut metal card that grants you 1 year of limited warranty, and a really nice black leather travel case. It is embossed with the Zelos logo on top, and has a dark teal velvet interior that stores 3 watches. A good case like this could easily cost you $100. Here are the measurements. The case is officially listed as 40mm wide, but in reality, I measured it closer to 42mm, or even 43mm if you factor in the crown guards, which add noticeable bulk to the right side of the case. Its thickness is 12.5mm including the crystal, the distance between the lugs is 20mm, with the bracelet tapering to under 16mm at the clasp. Lug tip to lug tip is 45mm, and with 6 links removed, the watch weighs 144 grams. Water resistance is 100 meters, so it's right in that sports watch sweet spot. The dial is a very, very dark shade of green. In fact, it is such a dark shade of green that if no one told me otherwise, I would believe it was a black dial. It was painted with paints used in the automotive industry, and was treated to a clear coat with a glossy sheen, which results in a really cool effect when you see the watch up close. There's a lot going on the dial, especially around its edge. On the very edge of the dial there's a fine printed 1/5 of a second track that seems to be raised over the rest of the dial, with numbers marking every 5 seconds up to 60. After that we have a very 70's looking minute track, with applied and lume filled hour markers integrated into it. At the 3 o'clock position, a frame date window adds a sporty contrast with a yellow frame and a matching color date wheel. Between the 9 and 10 o'clock markers, we have a power reserve indicator designed to look like a fuel gauge that allows you to track how much juice you have left before you need to make a pit stop and wind the watch. The Zelos logo is applied under the 12 o'clock marker, keeping branding minimal, while the GT script in yellow at the 6 reinforces the vintage racing theme. The hands have a distinct automotive-inspired look, resembling the pointers you'd find on sports car gauges. The hour and minute hands are faceted and highly polished, partially skeletonized, and feature luminous tips. A bright yellow seconds hand cuts across the dial, adding yet another dynamic pop of contrast against the dark dial. And just like a car's dashboard lights up, so does the GT. Zelos used BGW9 Superluminova to create this striking after-dark profile. While the hands are not as easy to pick up as they would be if they weren't skeletonized, they were still visible hours after zapping the watch with my UV torch. The second hand isn't loomed, but the power reserve meter is, which is pretty cool. Covering the dial is a beautiful boxed and double-domed sapphire crystal, with anti-reflective coating applied to it for increased visibility. The case is crafted from 316L stainless steel. It is tonneau shaped, a design that just screams 1970s. Zelos did a great job bringing it to the 21st century, with sharp lines and a smart combination of brushed and polished surfaces. The fixed bezel is flat and brushed on top, with its upper facet polished before transitioning back to a brushed finish on the side. And while the top side of the case is brushed, its top and bottom chamfered edges are highly polished, with the center portion of the sides of the case horizontally brushed. One notable design choice is the lugs, which don't angle down but flare up instead, something that will undoubtedly affect how the watch wears on the wrist. The crown guards almost look like chronograph pushers and share the same finishing pattern of the case. The screw-down crown offers deep knurling for a secure grip and is topped off with an engraved Zelos logo. The case back screws down as well and features a cool silhouette of a Lamborghini Miura set against a grainy background. Encircling the design is the usual spec sheet, including the unique number of your watch out of the 150 pieces made. The GT is powered by a caliber 9133, a rarely seen member of the 9000 series of premium automatic movements, produced by Citizen's Miyota division in Japan. Its features include 26 joules, a high bitrate of 28,800 beats per hour, hacking and hand-winding abilities, 40 hours of power reserve as tracked by the power reserve meter, a date complication, and a stated accuracy of -10 to +30 seconds per day. The bracelet is one of the most interesting bracelets I've seen. It was designed to mimic the Miura engine cover. It is an H-link bracelet consisting of solid links brushed all around. The links are held together with screws with very tiny heads, so you're going to need a very small screwdriver and a lot of patience to adjust the bracelet. They're flat on top, but have concaved edges on their bottom to help them articulate. The end links are solid as well, and though they feature female middle links, they do flare out of the case, bringing the effective overall length of the watch up to 49.5mm. They also feature quick release spring bars, something I absolutely love seeing watch brands do. This makes changing the bracelet so much easier. The clasp is a fully milled fold-over with a double pusher security system. Like the rest of the bracelet, the clasp is completely brushed, with what seems to be a Zelos medallion applied on it. The back of the clasp reveals an intricate sliding adjustment mechanism, a great feature that allows you to micro-adjust the size of the bracelet throughout the day and on the fly. On wrist, there's one thing we need to address right off the bat. The GT doesn't wear like a 40mm watch. It wears like 42 or even larger. For comparison, here is a 44mm steel dive on my wrist, and here is a proper 40mm Sheffield All-Sport. If you were thinking of buying the GT as a 40mm sports watch to add to your collection, that's definitely something to keep in mind. With that said, it does have the advantage of a short lug-to-lug distance. So even with the larger diameter and the protrusion of the end links, it still manages to wear great on my 7-inch wrist. It also wears rather flat and doesn't hug the wrist, sort of like a puck due to the lugs curving up. In terms of legibility, because of the unique skeletonized design of the hands, they could be a bit harder to spot, but nothing too dramatic. You can still pick up the time pretty easily. I obviously have to show this racing inspired watch on a racing style leather strap, so here it is on not one, but 3 different ones. How cool is that? So let's wrap it up by examining the pros and cons. Cons first. While the design is undeniably striking, I can't help but feel that a slightly smaller case, maybe even 39mm in diameter, would be a better fit. For me anyway. The current size pushes the boundaries of my comfort zone, especially with the way the watch sits on the wrist. Some curvature to the lugs would have helped balance this, making for a more natural fit on the wrist. The end links are the one area where the finishing doesn't match the otherwise impeccable execution. The top surface appears slightly wavy, and the way they protrude from the case, visually and physically extending the watch's size, isn't particularly appealing. Now for the pros. The Zelos GT comes with a solid list of highlights that I think make it great value for money. It features a double-domed sapphire crystal, 100 meters of water resistance, with a screw-down crown and a screw-down case back with a nice artwork, giving it solid specs for daily wear. It has a premium high-beat Miyota movement, with that cool fuel gauge style power reserve indicator that ties into the racing theme. The uniquely painted dial, great use of yellow pops of color, excellent BGW9 lume, and great finishing throughout the case and bracelet speak to the overall quality. The bracelet itself is a standout, with solid links, quick release spring bars, and on-the-fly adjustment. Altogether, the GT blends 70s motorsport charm with modern execution in a design that feels truly original. And you know what? It really lived up to my expectations. Let me know what you guys think of the Zelos GT down in the comment section below. You'll find a link to the GT collection in the description of this video. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my affordable watch collection, and hit the notification bell for more affordable watches related content. If you like micro brand watches, why not check one of these two out next? I want to thank Zelos for sending this watch in for review, and to thank you all very much for watching, and I will see you next time.